Thank you, everyone. Thank you for those incredible words. Like every other fellow tonight, you hear your character biog and you go, God, they sound amazing. I'd love to meet them. But they don't. We all feel like are not worthy of that praise, so thank you. It's been the greatest privilege to hear some of the speeches that my fellows have written this evening. However, I have to confess, it would have been a complete betrayal of my TV writer colleagues if I'd also written something and delivered it on time and on budget. So I'm staying true to that tradition, and I'm just going to speak from the heart very briefly, if that's okay. And actually, this has made my heart go all aflutter. This really does mean a lot, thank you, because like everyone else in this room, I just really love telly. I really, really love it. And growing up in the community that is represented in Sherwood, seeing stories, dramas, feats of expression from characters far beyond my own capabilities helped me understand the world and understand myself, and I'm so grateful for that. So this means a lot for a number of reasons. One, for that, and I love hearing, it sounds like I was born out of the womb quoting Brecht as a political playwright. My passion for TV was Emmerdale and Home and Away growing up. I loved soaps, and I loved popular drama that came my way day by day, and that was my first access. And I remember my brother is here, and my brother is also from my mining village in Nottinghamshire. We are part of the 8% who are working in the TV industry from a working class background and from a state school education. And I remember fondly walking around our mining village with our uncle's home video camera, making films and trying to make sense of the world. And here we are today, so I'm very proud of that. I also kept thinking, I feel really bad because I'm also a playwright, and I spend most of my time in interviews wanging on about how theatre is this incredible collaborative medium where you get to make something collectively, and there's a real sense of community, and I don't feel that as much as in television. I don't really mean that. I don't know why I say that. And tonight, and I'm not just saying that because you're all looking at me and thinking, why would he say that? I'm saying that because this is such a great example of a way of building a community and a sense of a collective in the television industry that I actually really feel. I was thinking about my life today, and this isn't a hashtag humble brag, God, I'm so busy, but today I got to go and see the edit of a TV drama I'm making where I'm surrounded by producers, editors, directors, where we had an incredibly robust, exciting conversation about the cut of a show. I then got to go to a movie set where I was the least important person there, even though I'd written the film, because everyone else was just getting on with their job. And I felt so excited to be surrounded by 100 talented people telling my story. And then I got to go up to Manchester and begin developing my next Sherwood series and be surrounded by production designers, artists, location scouts, directors. I feel so surrounded by people, so I apologize for my constant idea that theatre is less collective and less collaborative than television. It just isn't. And on the way here, I was thinking about that word fellowship and how warm and fuzzy that made me feel. I don't think I'd actually, growing up in a state school in a mining village, I don't think I'd ever heard the word fellowship before until I saw Lord of the Rings. And I was thinking about Lord of the Rings, and I feel like we are a bit like Lord of the Rings, aren't we, as fellows? Like, we do come into this sacred space with our individual weapons and our talents and our skills. We feel like we bring with us this strange collective tradition of something beyond ourselves, and also this kind of fatalistic awareness that as we go out into our quest on the battlefield, we're all going to be picked off one by one and killed until it's just Jack Thorne in Mordor holding the ring. But on that last note, my dear friend and nemesis, Jack Thorne, what a thrill it was for me to watch adolescents get so celebrated at the Emmys this year. Like, genuinely, there's no shade. Because that reminded me of something. And I feel so lucky to be a writer in Britain, because of a lot of the people in this room, the ecosystem that's been built that allows talent to move from theatre to TV to film and back again, which is actually very rare in the US and in Europe. And there's also something about the idea that, and it was expressed really articulately early on, about the world changing and society changing and television changing, and it is, and everything shrinking so that everybody can almost see the same thing at the same time, and the great opportunities that there is in telling stories to that global audience. And what really relieves me and gives me such great hope is that in that climate, the danger I thought was always going to be that there would be a mass blanding out and homogenization of art and voices and drama. And what's remarkable, and what I say as a reassurance to the scholars who are writers and creators in this room, is that actually it isn't about making the least offensive, most palatable drama that seems to catch people's attention, that seems to go net global. It's the most specific, the most culturally specific dramas from a specific voice, class, race, time, place, and with that level of authenticity that seem to be the most successful dramas in the world. And that gives me such reassurance and such hope, despite the fact I didn't write Adolescence, that in this new climate that was well expressed, that is the hope. And I'm also here with my agent, Lily, who found me in a pub theatre at the Finborough Theatre 20 years ago. And I basically make Lily no money in international sales because I write such British stories. All of my playwright contemporaries, I have like 10, 12 plays happening across the world, and we cannot get the Icelandic version of my council by-election play, Mansfield, off the ground. And I make no apologies for that. I feel so lucky to be in this room and supported by people who are championing British stories, because I feel like that is going to be how we survive. Thank you so much for this. It means a huge amount, and I'm very grateful.